A lot of action right now for Alabama in the transfer portal. One guy out. Yeah, one guy's out. Kobee Minor hit the bricks. Couple guys, though, that Alabama's still in on the mix. King Mack. I would love that guy in Tuscaloosa. I don't know how good of a safety he is, but that might be my favorite name if he ends up coming to Tuscaloosa from Penn State. And how about Geno VanDeMark? Yeah, big offensive lineman. We got a little inside information on him. I think he might be coming and wearing this right here. Welcome to the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. We're talking about Alabama, and we're brought to you by WJLX and our friend Brett Elmore. Hey, and you know Big Sexy Elmo. He'll be here right after we play the Open. But we want you to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and scream, Roll Tide. What do you say, everybody? There he is, Big Sexy Elmo on the screen twice. One of you down there and one of you next to me. We got a lot to talk about, Brett, at Brett Elmore Show, at Broadcaster Mint. So before we even get into any of the fun stuff, I want to hit this audience with some really interesting portal news from the jump, right? All right, let's start here. We reported that Kobee Minor was coming to Tuscaloosa, the Indiana cornerback, shut it down. Alabama got Deshaun Jones from Wake Forest, and there's no more interest in Minor. Yeah, that was some kind of surprising news that we received yesterday. And so he was supposed to visit, I think, yesterday. And then it was like, you know what? You might as well just stay at home. We're kind of okay right now. Yeah. So, you know, it's not much more to the story than that. I mean, it's just, sorry, don't burn a trip down here. Yeah, right. We got you covered, and good luck to you. All right. Well, let's get into the guys that are still on the radar here. And let me start with a big offensive lineman who's getting attention from all over the place. But I think Alabama has a really good chance to get this guy, Geno VanDeMark. He kind of slid, like nobody really talked about it, left Michigan State. But ladies and gentlemen, we got a little insider with the Michigan State program. Don't we have their offensive line coach?
Yes, we do. And, this guy's 6'5", 295, Geno VanDeMark.
I like that.
I like that. Anyone with a last name with 3 capital letters got to be a man.
Oh yeah, that just tells you he's gonna clear lanes for Justice Haynes.
Yeah, exactly. But a lot of folks are saying that he's going to go to Oklahoma. But can we steer him away from that direction and come to T-Town? I don't know, but he is definitely a transfer portal guy to watch, and pretty good interior lineman. Yeah, Chris Kapakovich was his offensive line coach, and so he knows him. But you're right. I mean, Oklahoma's kind of the overwhelming favorite. Alabama is wants to get him into Tuscaloosa, see what they can do with him. And this guy was a 3-star recruit out of high school. But he's played the interior. You need interior linemen. Obviously, Alabama program that has said, including Coach DeBoer, that he wanted some help on the offensive line. We got that, obviously, with Porter, right? Caden Porter. Yeah. We had him before, and I'm glad he's back. So we'll see what happens with VanDeMark and if Alabama is able to get in there and make something happen. Now, this guy would be amazing. Like, if we get this guy, can you imagine King Mack? I mean, his parents, I'd high-five him just for the name. Yeah, really. His football runs in his family, Mick. And someone was asking about him yesterday in the comments section. Glad they did. Football runs in his family. His uncle is Keith Ferguson. He played football at Ohio State back in the late 70s. And he's also a relative of Tremaine Mack, who played at Miami back in the early 90s, 93 through 96. So he was a part of probably that. Well, he may have just come in on the very tail end of that ass whooping we gave him at the Sugar Bowl.
That was great.
Yeah.
Jay and the boys.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But yeah, I love a guy by the name of King Mack. That is awesome. He spent one season in Happy Valley. Look, he appeared in all of their games, but he didn't make a whole lot of noise. As a matter of fact, I think he only had three tackles. But he coming out of high school, he was a 4-star athlete. So maybe Penn State really not jiving with what. Maybe they're not jiving. Obviously, they're not. So it would add obviously some great depth to the safety room and some talent, and that's kind of what we're looking for,
Yeah, from Fort Lauderdale. Some people had him as a 4-star. I think he's coming to Alabama. I think they're going to get him. And who knows? Maybe by the time you guys are watching this, Brett opens up his fortune cookie, he will have already announced. But I think this is an easy move for him. Back close to be part of this defensive, the safety defensive back spot for Alabama. And get an opportunity to play in Tuscaloosa. Penn State's a great program, but it's not what it used to be. Alabama is still what it is. And if I was him, that would obviously be a pretty good spot for me. All right, Brett, look at this right here. At it again, man. This staff is doing an amazing job going out there and finding guys. And this is one of your favorite, Littlejohn. You're a big Littlejohn guy. Elijah Littlejohn. No, not Littlejohn from Bonanza, but this is Elijah Littlejohn.
Elijah Littlejohn. I actually have a friend of mine. I think her maiden name was Littlejohn. But anyway, maybe related. I don't know. Who knows? How many Littlejohns are there? I guess there's a lot of Littlejohns. I don't know. 6'2", 205 pounds. He's an edge guy. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina. He's class of 2026, those thing, and that's they're staying ahead of the game, and went on ahead and offered him. A lot of schools are looking at Georgia Tech. Obviously, it's early. Indiana, Michigan, the schools in the Carolinas are looking at him, but obviously being from Charlotte, so an early offer from Bama, and obviously he's a dang good football player.
Yeah. Getting the jump on him on 3, and Rivals right now have him as a 3-star. He's going to move up. And when you look at his list, I mean, it's Wake Forest and South Carolina, North Carolina, and NC State. But this is a guy who from West Charlotte has, just started to kind of make that trek. But the fact that he's starting to pick these offers up, and Alabama really likes him. And that's part of this process, is going out there and finding talent and securing that talent to come and play for the Crimson Tide.
Right.
All right. What star ranking are you? What do you consider yourself?
See, out of how many stars are there?
5 stars, 5 stars, like 5-star, like
probably
as a morning show guy. As a morning show guy, probably about a solid 2. 2-star?
No, 4.75.
Yeah, I love the morning show. All right, here, let's get into this right here.
Wait a minute. What kind of stars are you?
I'm not a morning show guy. I'm like a guest on your show every once in a while.
Okay, well, you could still, play-by-play, baseball guy.
I mean, I feel like I'm. I mean, look, I'm not a prospect anymore, but I think that if you guys listen to me, you would be like, "Oh, okay, I get it." Yes, that's a lot of this during the game. So I would say 3 or 4-star. I mean, I would give myself some credit. I don't know about 5-star, but like
I think you're a solid 4.75 like me.
Thanks, dude. I'll take that.
Yeah.
All right. Big sexy Elmo. DraftKings released early football betting lines, and this is pretty interesting. Alabama, you look around and you're like, hey, like who is where and all that kind of stuff. Let's throw it up there. Do you have it?
No, I mean, I can.
I got it. Hold on. I got it.
Got it.
I got it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's just go ahead and start with the opener with Wisconsin. Alabama is favored.
Boom. There you go.
7.5.
All right, that's it. Wisconsin. That's a game makes me nervous because
me too.
Man, I mean, I don't know who's going to tackle at the cornerback spot. The defensive line better be ready. And are we going to be able to run the ball? I love the fact that Milroe is the quarterback. He had the success last year. And I think that he's being pushed right now by Ty Simpson. That's only going to make him better. So who knows how many points were scored? That makes me nervous. We get 4.5 at home against Georgia. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, I know we have some issues. They're not coming into our house. They're not, I mean,
Wow.
they're not, look, they're not, we're going to be ready for them. Our guys will be ready for them. They're come on. At Tennessee is going to be a tough game.
That is tough.
It's going to be a tough game. I'm worried about the road games. Missouri, take 8.5 right now. We're going to clean their clock.
You don't think Missouri is going to be
get out of here? They had one good year. At LSU, another really tough game. I worry about that. The fact that they're an underdog, man, I don't know. That'd be a tough one to bet.
That's almost a pick 'em.
Is that so? We're at Oklahoma and we're wait a second. Wait a second.
Yeah. We're at Oklahoma and we're favored a 1.5.
Okay, 1.5 against Oklahoma. Another really tough game. And then 15 versus Auburn. Man, I hope we beat them by 30.
I would take that Auburn number.
Yeah, I'll take that. I mean, we'll be ready for them. But look at that schedule too, man. I mean, that's some tough games.
God, that's brutal, man. I mean, you're playing an NFL type schedule. I mean, even your non-conference game, at Wisconsin. Good grief, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little early, but the lines are out, and it's something fun for us to talk about.
Yeah, look, I know. Like, what does that matter now compared to then? But it's pretty cool that they're putting lines out.
Yeah, that means we're getting closer.
I know. I mean, it's creeping up on us.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get into what's going on today, let's talk about this guy right here, Alabama legend. I mean, this is one of those guys, man. This is one of those guys who makes Alabama what Alabama is. Hootie Ingram. I mean, who didn't like Hootie Ingram?
Right.
The guy was part of the program for a long, long time, and he passed away at 90. And condolences to his family and love and respect, and obviously a tip of the cap to Hoodie.
Yeah, he was born in Tuscaloosa, guy who played at Tuscaloosa High School, all SEC defensive back as a sophomore back in the early 50s when they played real football and not touch football like we have today. Seriously, man, that was tough. And I set an SEC record with 10 interceptions in 1952. This is a sad day for the Alabama family, and funeral services will be Saturday at Calvary Baptist in T-Town. So anyway, as Greg Burns said on Twitter /X, whatever you want to say, we will miss Hoodie dearly, and that's very, very true.
Philadelphia Eagles in the NFL. Bama 52-54 his playing career. Manatee High School in 56 is where he started his coaching career. Coached a year at Brookwood High in Alabama. Go Panthers. Then he went to County High. Go Wildcats. I was their broadcaster, but not back in 58 and 59. Wake Forest, VPI, Georgia, Arkansas, Clemson, and then, obviously Bama's AD from 89 to 95. And a lot of people feel like when he left and Bob Bachroth took over, Bob got us, ran Gene Stallings off and basically turned us into, a roadkill. Turned us into roadkill.
Right.
It wasn't Hoodie Ingram. I like Hootie Ingram.
And
Love
at the time, the Stallings hire, when he went out and hired Stallings, it wasn't the most popular hire.
No. And all he did was win a championship. And we were competitive,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Know?
Absolutely. I mean, you look back at those teams and everything. It wasn't the most popular pick, but Gene Stallings, a legend, and he was responsible for bringing him in, and we won a national championship under him. And I saw Coach Stallings, I think he was at the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame over the weekend, and man, Coach is he's gotten to be an old man, but he still gets around to all these events and still works on his farm. And talk about another great man in Coach Stallings.
I got to Alabama. Coach Stallings was the head coach, and there was just something like he just looked the part. You know what I mean? Like he just looked the part. Like he just had the demeanor, and when you saw him on the sideline, you were confident you had a chance to win. And then Bachroth came in and, basically wanted to get rid of him and did that, and then sent us into a tailspin, not understanding what it takes to be successful. Yeah. And I don't blame Gene for a lot of the stuff that happened. It's, the world is the world in recruiting. And now, obviously we're seeing it. It's just all unveiled in front of us. Right. But he's one of my favorites. I had a poster of him with the 90, I want to say it was like the 95 or maybe it was the 95 schedule poster was on my wall in my dorm, and he's there, and I'm like, man, I love this guy. Like he just looks like a football coach. Yeah. And Hoodie Ingram was a guy everybody liked. Just seemed like a good dude. And sad day for Alabama. We're losing some of our legends, man. We
are. And
we lost Hobson's, not too long ago, and now we lost Hoodie. I mean, these are the guys that basically took the program from where it was to where it was then, and then and we know where it is now. So but all right, let's get into this. Is your favorite part of the show, Brett? Like, let's get into what's going on today for everyone.
Yeah. This is a big day for you. You are a big fan of the Grateful Dead.
Yes, I am.
Their drummer. Who's the drummer?
Bill Crushman.
Yeah. 78 today.
Oh, happy birthday, Billy. Billy and the boys. Billy and the boys. That's, what? Like, the thing about the Dead, Brett, is that there's actually two drummers. To be, like they always had two drums like going at the same time. And and I've talked to you about going to see Dead in company with me in Vegas. And the reason why I'm going for 3 nights is because I'm not going to be able to like take it all in one night or 2 nights. Like I got to do 3 nights. Like I got to get all. I could do 4, but 4 is Vegas 4 is pushing it, right? But 3, I'm right on the edge. No, I think they're the greatest American rock band because they have every element of our music in this country in there, right? You got bluegrass and folk music and rock and blues and and Billy and the gang, Billy, the 2 drummers, Jerry Garcia, Bill Ware, Phil Lesh. I mean, all those guys together, what they brought to the table. Don't forget about Mickey Hart. Like, I love them. And honestly, it's a little sad that they're getting up there. I mean, this might sound controversial, but I went and saw Phil Lesh and Friends in Nashville, and he looked just like the skeleton in the Touch of Grey video from back when we were in high school or middle school or whatever,
Yeah.
Well, he's an old dude now, so hopefully Billy's got many more years left.
Yeah, it's sort of like I say on the radio every morning when I'm going through the birthdays and stuff. I say, "Geez, these people had a birthday last year." It's like they have one every year.
Yeah.
The number just keeps on going up and up and up.
It's a shame that Jerry died so young, because I think he's the best, and and obviously I'm just glad that the band still does something, just so people like me I like that kind of music, like the Widespread and the Fish and that, and obviously Goose and String Cheese and
String Cheese Incident.
Yeah, right.
All those bands that jam
Pigeons
bands.
playing ping pong. I mean, I don't want to get on here and talk about my kind of music, but good.
You everybody realizes now what kind of person you are musically.
I like everything though.
I know you do. You do. You're like me.
I like it all.
To just about anything.
Man, I honestly, man, I like rap music. Certainly, some of it. I like blues. I saw Ray Charles in Birmingham. That was one of the best things. I'm so glad I got a chance to see him.
Yeah.
And musicians, like, they can do different stuff, man. Like Ray just threw out a country album. You and I both love old school country, like classic country, and and stuff. So anyway, we could talk music. That should be another podcast.
That's what we need to do. Just another show on nothing but music. Today, if you're looking for something to celebrate, today is National Leg of Lamb Day.
Oh man, you're gonna make me comment on all these, but I do love leg of lamb, and it's because I like the mint jelly that you put on the leg of lamb.
See, I've never had leg of lamb.
Oh, it's so good, man. Like if it's done right, and then you got that mint jelly. Oh, dude, it's not something that I eat a lot, but I'll be at a restaurant, I'll see it, and I'll be like, if it has the jelly, I'm in.
Give me the lamb, he says.
I'll take it.
Today is National Teacher Appreciation Day. So when you send the kids out to school, remind them to appreciate their teacher at least one day a year.
I'm going to tell you this with Brett right here. I'm going to tell you about a great teacher. If you guys ever get to the Gulf Coast and you like the Food Network, there's some restaurants by Panini Pete, right? You've heard of Panini Pete. He's like the guy. What's the guy's name with the white hair? Fiore, like
Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri, right? Loves Panini Pete, like they're boys, right?
Okay.
This. My son's autistic. He didn't talk. Panini Pete. His wife's name's Jody. She was his teacher in 3rd grade, and by the time we got out of 3rd grade, the guy was talking. Just special lady. I don't even know if she's still teaching or not, but you remember people like that. Because they can make such a big impact on young people's lives. So go there and get a panini, and maybe you run into her. But, but we love that. We love her. We had Miss Smith. Not this year, but last year, she was great too. It was like sending your kid to school to be taught by his mom. I mean, she loved them so much. We've been very, very, very lucky with some of the teachers that we've had. Love teachers.
Absolutely. And that's pretty much not a whole lot happened this day in history or anything like that. So, I'm looking at, Hotel California hit #1 on the charts. This day is 77.
So I think that I've told you this, Brett. That's where we'll end it right here. I've told you and everyone watching that I think the Dead are the best American rock band. Right. I think that, and I just feel like there's a big separation in my mind, right? When you look, with the fact that we're still the fact that we're still selling out like the residency in Vegas, and they're the most listened to band ever because they're recorded, and you can go back and listen to all of their bootlegs, and there's 3 different channels on XM Sirius with them and all that stuff, right? But the second best rock band, I feel like, is probably the Eagles. Like I would put them at #2, and I would give them a solid #2. Now, Hotel California is like their biggest hit. Like that's the one that we remember. But there's like something in there where they're talking about like the smell of, that what's the line? The smell of.
It's right on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. But they're talking about pot, I guess.
Yeah, probably so.
But it was like, oh, what is this? Like, my favorite member of the Eagles. Who's your favorite member of the Eagles? Glenn Fry?
Don Henley.
Don Henley. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Don Henley by far my favorite Eagles The smell of
Colitis. The smell of colitis.
No, apocalyptus.
No, it's not apocalyptus. It's colitis.
Rising up through the air. Yeah.
All right, Brett, tell them about your show. You've been on the screen the whole time staring at me.
This is great. Best show ever.
You're going to get huge ratings.
Yeah, 6 till 10, weekday mornings, WJLX1015.com. Be listening in, especially if you're in the state of Alabama tomorrow and this morning and all this week. I'm giving away tickets to see, speaking of music, Rick Springfield with 38 Special in Tuscaloosa at the amphitheater. So just tune in. You may be a winner. Okay.
All right. And don't forget, we're brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Choctaw, Mississippi, Philadelphia, celebrating 30 years right now. And that includes Boys to Men coming on the weekend of the 3rd and the 4th. And they've got Big and Rich and a bunch of other great acts there. Dancing Rabbit, which is the Augusta that you can play. It's an amazing golf course. And I mean that. If you like golf, you're going to be blown away by how nice it is. You got table games and slots in the Timeout Sports Lounge, which is a Vegas-style sports book right there at Pearl River Resort. Hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 hours from Jasper.
Put that money on that -15 versus Auburn while you're there.
Yeah, right. And bring some colitis.
That's right.
I'm just kidding. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Have a great day. And roll tide.